Most artists I have known were the introverted type. You know, the kind of artist who'd rather stay inside their studio, who'd rather choose quality time with their acrylics and canvas just to avoid the sunlight or touching the grass or worst, social interaction. I totally get you because I was once guilty of that too. But I realized that imprisoning myself inside my own art studio is not mentally healthy. In fact, it slowly kills the brain and even creativity. You need to go outside every now and then. Get your sketchbook and pen and expand your artistic skills out there. So, in this video, I just want to encourage you to step out of your comfort zone, to pause from your everyday life and breathe, to expose yourself and your creativity unhinged, to finally get that drawing materials out and start sketching outdoors. Here are 4 key points backed with psychological studies why sketching or drawing outdoor is beneficial for your mental health. Number 1. Stress reduction. Spending time in outdoors, specifically in nature, has long been recognized for its calming effects. And if you add with a creative activity like drawing or sketching, the benefits can be even more profound. Going outside of your house's walls, making art, allow you to disconnect from digital distractions and even the pressures of daily life. It encourages you to slow down and have a more mindful pace. And honestly, this gentle and calm activity can lead to a very healthy state, where observation and creation, 2 processes that are meditative, gradually soothe your nervous system. There is a research in environmental psychology supporting the idea that open and peaceful environments reduce stress. The attention restoration theory by Kaplan and Kaplan in 1989 suggests that nature offers soft fascination, a stimuli that hold our attention effortlessly. This allows the brain to rest and recover from the fatigue of overloading attention required in our everyday tasks. When sketching outdoor settings, individual can experience cognitive relief, leading to decrease the level of anxiety and tension. In addition, according to a study published in Art Therapy, Journal of the American Art Therapy Association in 2016, expressive art making itself has proven psychological benefits. If you engage in 45 minutes of creative activity, you significantly lower down your cortisol levels. Studies have shown that exposure to green spaces, like plants and trees, reduces blood pressure, lowers heart rate, and increases parasympathetic nervous system activity. And so, drawing outside encourages people to stay in these calming environments longer. It helps the body to fully reap these restorative benefits. In summary, outdoor sketching reduces stress by blending the grounding presence of nature with the therapeutic act of creative expression. It's actually simpler than we thought, and accessible practice too, that supports mental well-being through both environmental and creative engagement.
With you, without you, don't ever change your mind. This time's for real. Tell me tonight, make it last, ways I do. I'm so free.
Number 2, mood boost. Do you know that there's a correlation effects between your mood or emotional well-being and your creative engagement, like sketching and drawing? Open environment exposure alone is known to increase a person's mood, but when partnered it with creative expression, the results can be even more beneficial to your mental health. The combination of outdoor environments and creativity execute a positive feedback loop. The open setting enhances creativity, and creativity, in turn, increases feelings of pleasure and satisfaction. Also, do you know that spending time outdoors activates the brain's reward systems? Places where there are trees and peacefulness have been shown to increase the production of serotonin and dopamine. There are neurotransmitters associated inside our brain responsible for happiness and motivation. When you do an artistic activities like sketching in these open environments, your brain most likely to experience a flow state. This is a deeply immersive mental state associated with heightened enjoyment and intrinsic motivation. This state of mind is strongly linked with positive emotions and a reduction of depressive symptoms. The biophilia hypothesis by Wilson in 1984 suggests that we, humans, have an innate connection to outdoor spaces like nature, and fulfilling that connection can lead to a psychological rejuvenation. Sketching or drawing outdoors naturally fosters this connection by allowing you to closely observe and interact with your surroundings. And so, this mindful interaction not only heightens sensory awareness, but also instills a sense of peace and joy that improves your mood. So cool, right? Additionally, studies show that engaging in visual arts improves emotional resilience too. A 2010 study published in The Arts in Psychotherapy discovered that art making leads to a statistically significant elevation in positive mood and lowers the negative mood, specifically when we're given the freedom to create in our own style. So, it makes sense why outdoor sketching nurtures both the brain and the heart. This offers a mental escape, a creative outlet, and an environmental mood booster, all through the simple act of putting pencil to paper under the open blue sky.
Look at the stars in the cold sky.
Number 3, creative inspiration. Okay, hear me out. Drawing or sketching outdoors can be a powerful practice for creative inspiration. How and why, you may ask? Well, you see, public places were filled with dynamic shapes, textures, and light, patterns and colors that stimulate the senses, and it also offers endless upon endless of interesting visual subjects. And as an artist, I am convinced that this variety encourages me to break away from repetitive or even rigid thinking patterns, allowing myself to engage with the surroundings in a more imaginative and responsive way. There is a study in creativity and environmental psychology by Apezzo and Schwartz, year 2014. They published it under the Journal of Experimental Psychology and found out that walking, yes, a simple walk, even in relatively mundane outdoor places, can boost creative thinking significantly more than just sitting indoors. When you sketch outside of your comfort zone, you tend to not only walk or move around, but you also actively observe and interpret the environment around you, by which enhances your divergent thinking, a key factor of creativity. Here's what is more interesting. The open environment is unpredictable. And this plays a major role because unlike your controlled studio settings or the familiar corners of your house, outdoor places constantly shift every now and then, right? Like clouds always move, shadows change, people or even animals come and go. Everything is in motion. These subtle changes may challenge your brain to adapt, to be curious, and to respond spontaneously. And this fuels fresh ideas, broadening your artistic exploration. Wait, there's more. The act of drawing outdoors often leads to what artists describe as a sense of flow state, aka creative flow. This is an immersive, focused mental state, first described in a study year 1990. Also, this is deeply associated with heightened creative performance with satisfaction. Being in an outdoor setting supports this state by minimizing the distractions and offering an open, more receptive mindset. To sum it up, drawing outdoors is more than just seeing a new view or scenery. It shifts the artist's internal being. It also refreshes your attention. It opens up new sources of visual and emotional creation, inviting your sense to explore, all of which are valid to sustain and even inspire your artistic drive, getting that spark back to be more creative.
Whispering, I can hear your voice. Elastic hours, they expand and shrink. Memories blur faster than you think. One moment forever, the next just a blink. And this elastic time, we sink or swim. Childhood summers lasted years now. Seasons change so fast. Time's a river flowing clear. The future's now the past. Tick tock, the rhythm's on.
Last but not the least, number 4, sense of freedom.
With you, without you, don't ever.
So, unlike the well-structured, confined indoor spaces like your own office or your studios, the open environment of the outside world invites a looser, more expressive, and more spontaneous approach to creation. Obviously, isn't it? Like, drawing or sketching outdoors evokes the sense of freedom, not just physically or mentally, but also creatively. This openness, both in spatial and in our sensory input, gives us the feeling of liberation. And you bet that this positively influences an artist's mindset. Psychology suggests that an open setting contributes to feelings of autonomy and expansiveness. From the study of restorative environments, outdoor spaces promote what is known as being away. Being away is said to be a psychological detachment from day-to-day routines or mental clutter. This separation allows a person to reconnect with their inner selves and by which enhances this sense of independence, a sense of self-direction. And if you notice, as a human being, our experience of freedom is also deeply rooted to how we perceive space. A study by Stats and Hartig, year 2004, found that people in open environments report greater psychological freedom compared to those in closed-wall or built-in places. This wonderful freedom sensation is amplified when an individual is engaged in a creative task like drawing outdoors, where you aren't only moving through or sitting in a landscape, but most importantly, you observe, interpret, and express it in your own way. Now, this combination of spatial openness and artistic free will encourage you to just go beyond. It also allows your self-imposed limitations to fall down, and you become more experimental, more free-flowing in your own art expression. Therefore, I highly agree that creativity thrives on the side of freedom. Our autonomy is one of the psychological needs to fuel our drive and be more authentic.
Without you.
In other words, I believe, us artists, we feel the most liberated and alive and true to ourselves when we make our own choices, a free will on what to draw, where to draw, how to draw it, and how long to stay in one spot just to finish the drawing.
Take take some time. I think I know.
Ultimately, creating art outdoors is not just about capturing what we see there and put it in our sketchbook. No, it's about embracing the unpredictability of the outside world and expose ourselves in our artistic curiosity to the vastness of the outdoors. You'd be surprised that when you finally sketch or draw out there in public, the results of your artwork may most likely be unburdened by restriction or perfectionism. A total freedom of creativity and mentality.
Let's take our faces and shrink. Memories blur faster than you think. A moment forever, the next just a blink. And this the last daytime we sink or swim. Chocolate summers lasted years now. Seasons change so fast. Time's forever flowing clear. The future's now.
Hi, first of all, congratulations for staying this far. Second, I hope y'all enjoyed watching me sketch while also listening to my non-stop yap about some helpful psychological advice why you should create outdoors. As a fellow artist, I am rooting for you. Get that sketchbook outside of your house and do what you must do. Create art. Till next time, peace.
Moments forever, the next just a blink. And this the last daytime.